My grandma has diabetes, but I've never heard you could get diabetes when you're pregnant. What's it called? Guess just gestational diabetes?
Even though my daughter is young, I want her to know more about sex and healthy relationships than I did when I was her age.
Isn't there a shot that stops your period and keeps you from getting pregnant?
I want to be healthy and I try to work out and watch my weight, but it just doesn't seem to be working. What else can I do?
Until I got pregnant, I'd never even heard of gestational diabetes.
Okay. Well, I know, and I'm glad you're coming to talk to me about it, because when I was younger, I was always way too nervous to talk to my mom.
Are you scared? Because grandma looks kind of scared.
I was pretty scared. I didn't get a lot of conversation about.
These are all important conversations to have to grow healthy and strong Native families and communities. In becoming a woman, you will make many choices, like if and when to have sex or to have a baby. You may already be talking with your mom, grandmother, aunties, or friends about these things. But sometimes, talking and asking questions about sex, pregnancy, maintaining a healthy weight, and family planning and birth control isn't always easy. Talking to a caring adult that you trust, or doctor or school nurse, can make these conversations easier and help you make healthy decisions and set you on a healthy path. The healthy choices you make now can help us end the cycle of diabetes across all of our Native communities. And together, we can stop GDM for you, your baby, and our future generations. To help you along the way, we want to share some important information on how you can prevent gestational diabetes. So when the time is right for you, your baby will be born as healthy and happy as possible. Sometimes, women get diabetes when they are pregnant after the first 3 months or first trimester. When that happens, this is called gestational diabetes or GDM. Staying at a healthy weight before becoming pregnant is the best way to prevent gestational diabetes and have a healthy baby.
I didn't know anything about gestational diabetes. I had maybe heard of it once by just skimming through some pregnancy books. This is like right after I found out I was pregnant. And so it was a little, I'm not going to say a little, it was shocking to me. I was very shocked, very upset that I felt like this had happened to me.
I had already had 2 healthy pregnancies. I did not know that I was at risk of GDM in my 3rd pregnancy.
There was some things that I could do to prevent this, but I had no educational things, flyers, pamphlets aimed toward me so I could read and prevent myself from having gestational diabetes.
A woman's body goes through many changes during pregnancy. Some of these changes can upset the way her body uses blood sugar. Some women's bodies have a harder time keeping blood sugar normal. Their blood sugars go too high, and that can cause problems for her body and her baby. Some women with gestational diabetes will have normal blood sugars after they have their babies. But having gestational diabetes still puts them at risk for having diabetes later in life. Other women with gestational diabetes will continue to have diabetes and high blood sugars after pregnancy. So it is also important for a woman to get checked for diabetes after her baby is born. Women with diabetes can get pregnant, and women who already have diabetes before they get pregnant will continue to have diabetes during and after their pregnancy. Because it is possible to have diabetes and not even know it, it's a good idea to get your blood sugar checked before you get pregnant. Then you'll know for sure, and your doctor or nurse can help you with a healthy nutrition and physical activity plan before you even start planning a family.
About half the women who get GDM will also get diabetes again later on in life. Their children will have a greater chance at getting diabetes too. You can help stop this cycle for you, your baby, and our future generations.
We don't know all the reasons women get diabetes when they're pregnant. Some women are overweight before they get pregnant, and others have diabetes in their family. Studies also show that American Indian and Alaska Native women are twice as likely to develop diabetes in pregnancy compared with women from other races. A woman is at higher risk of getting gestational diabetes if she has the following risk factors: is overweight before getting pregnant, is not physically active, is American Indian or Alaska Native, has prediabetes, has high blood sugar, was younger than 12 years old when she started her first period, has a health problem called polycystic ovarian syndrome, has a mother, father, brother, or sister with diabetes, had diabetes while pregnant during another pregnancy, has given birth to a baby weighing more than 9 pounds, or is over age 25. Could you be at risk for GDM? Let's find out by answering yes or no to the following questions. Has a doctor or nurse ever told you that you are overweight? Has a doctor or nurse ever told you that you have prediabetes or high blood sugar? Does anyone in your family have diabetes? Are you an American Indian or Alaska Native? Did you start your period before age 12? Do you have a health problem called PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you could be at risk for getting gestational diabetes. The good news is that when the time is right for you to get pregnant, you can lower your chances of getting GDM, so diabetes doesn't have to be a part of your child's birth story. You can lower your risk for GDM by being at a healthy weight when you get pregnant, eating a healthy diet, being physically active, not gaining too much weight while pregnant. A woman is usually pregnant for 9 months, and all women should have a blood sugar test, which measures the amount of sugar in your blood between weeks 24 and 28 of their pregnancy. If your blood sugar test is high, you might have gestational diabetes. If you have a higher chance of having diabetes, your doctor or nurse may test for diabetes during the first visit after you become pregnant, instead of waiting until 24 to 28 weeks. If you are diagnosed with high blood sugar early on in the first trimester or during the first 3 months of your pregnancy, you probably had diabetes before getting pregnant. If your doctor or nurse does not check your blood sugar early in your pregnancy, it's a good idea for you to ask to get a blood sugar test. You have a right to make sure you have a healthy pregnancy for yourself and your baby. Be sure that you have a doctor, nurse, or adult you trust to talk to during your pregnancy about your health and the health of your baby. You can always ask for a test to be safe.
I don't even have a boyfriend yet, so why should I be thinking about having a baby?
Why do women get gestational diabetes? Do I have to be skinny to prevent it?
I want to ask questions and talk to someone, but I really don't know who or even where to start.
I'm glad we're getting the word out about gestational diabetes to our young Native women.
We would like to share some important information on a variety of topics that can assist you with getting answers to these questions and, when the time is right for you, help you to have a healthy pregnancy and prevent gestational diabetes. We've talked to you about some of these, but now it's time to go a bit more in depth. Pregnancy causes many changes in a woman's body. Some of these changes can affect the way her body uses blood sugar. If a woman's blood sugars go too high while she is pregnant, both she and the baby could gain too much weight. Too much weight is not healthy for mom or baby. When you are ready to plan a pregnancy, it's important to be healthy and have normal blood sugars. Women who have gestational diabetes need help controlling blood sugars. A woman can do this by keeping a healthy diet, being physically active, and taking medications if her doctor suggests this. A woman can be pregnant and not even know it until she has missed her period. By that time, the baby is already developing very quickly. This is why it's important to plan for your pregnancy. The first 3 months of pregnancy are critical for having a healthy baby.
I did not know a whole lot about gestational diabetes before I was diagnosed. I wish that I had known a little bit more as to how to take care of myself and my baby before being diagnosed. I remember as a child watching my grandmother give herself insulin shots at the kitchen table. I started asking questions. What is diabetes? I was told, eat healthy and exercise.
Had I gotten information at an early age about gestational diabetes, my story would be a lot different. I have a 14-year-old son that was recently diagnosed with having type 2 diabetes. Had I known about preventing gestational diabetes during my pregnancy, he may not have been diagnosed at such an early age.
This is why it's important to plan for your pregnancy. The first 3 months of pregnancy are critical for having a healthy baby. After the first trimester, high blood sugars can harm a baby by causing such things as premature birth, babies born with low blood sugars, being born too big, babies who have trouble breathing, being born with jaundice, miscarriage in which the baby dies early in pregnancy, baby is not born alive, also known as stillbirth. There is also a higher chance of the baby dying shortly after birth. High blood sugars from GDM can also harm the baby by causing a higher chance of the baby developing diabetes later in life and the baby being overweight later in life. Similarly, high blood sugars can harm a mother by causing high blood pressure, eye problems, kidney problems, nerve problems, a C-section delivery or surgery to deliver the baby if the baby is too big, as well as developing diabetes later in life. Remember, if a pregnant woman has high blood sugar, that means the baby inside of her has high blood sugar too. The good news is that you can decrease your chances of getting gestational diabetes by maintaining a healthy weight before you plan to have a baby and by not gaining too much weight while you are pregnant. Planning a pregnancy so that you and your baby are healthy is important in decreasing your chances of getting GDM. And checking your blood sugar both before and during pregnancy is key. To be healthy, you don't have to change everything about how you eat. Small changes in your diet can have a big effect on your health. For most teens, the #1 healthy change is drinking more water and less sugar-sweetened beverages of any kind. Use the native plate method of filling half of your plate with fresh fruits and vegetables. One of the best ways to get to a healthy weight is to cut back on junk food and fast food. Junk food, like chips, cookies, candy, soda, and fast food, like fries and burgers, are not healthy. Try to limit these foods to only once a week or less. Another great way to manage your weight is to be sure that you eat 3 meals each day and try to limit your snacking in between meals. If you can eat a healthy breakfast, lunch, and dinner and avoid snacking on junk food, you will be well on your way to reducing your risk for gestational diabetes. Try to eat breakfast within about an hour of waking up in the morning. If you don't have much time or are not hungry, try having yogurt and a piece of fruit for breakfast. Foods like eggs, fruit, non-sugar sweetened cereal, crackers and peanut butter, and yogurt are terrific choices for breakfast. If you're going to be out of the house all day, pack your lunch with you. Bring a healthy sandwich, crackers and peanut butter, yogurt, cheese, or mixed nuts. If you're at home, try not to snack throughout the day. Rather, choose a time when you can sit down to eat your lunch in a relaxed setting, and make sure to drink water with your lunch. Dinner is a great time to connect with your family and have a peaceful meal. Try to plan ahead with your family to eat at least one meal each day together. It's also a great time to get extra vegetables. Teens who eat regular meals with their family usually eat healthier and have more time to talk with their families about what is going on in their lives. Use the native plate method of filling half of your plate with fresh fruits and vegetables at this meal. And as always, drink water with your dinner. The key to achieving and maintaining a healthy weight isn't about short-term fad diets. It's about a lifestyle that includes healthy eating and regular physical activity. Staying in control of your weight contributes to good health now and as you age. Being physically active can decrease your chance of becoming overweight and of getting diabetes while you are pregnant. We also know that being physically active can help to relieve stress and help provide a healthy balance of both the body and mind. It's best to set aside time every day to include 30 minutes of exercise like walking, dancing, or jogging in your day every day. You don't have to do all 30 minutes at once. For example, you might go for a 10-minute walk to catch up with your mom and go for a fun jog with your friends for 20 minutes later in the day. You can also make a plan to walk when you talk. If you talk to your friends on the phone, walk around the block while you're talking instead of laying down in your bedroom. If you prefer to text your friends, even the small change of walking up and down the steps at home in between texts can be an awesome way to get active during the day. People often say they don't have time to be more physically active. It's important to remember that being active and moving more takes planning. You can be creative about how to fit it into your day. It is important to do two kinds of activities. Activities that increase your heart rate like walking quickly, dancing, or swimming, and activities that increase your strength like sit-ups and push-ups and lifting weights. These two types of activities can help you have a healthy weight. Flexibility is important so that you don't get hurt. Stretching before and after exercising will help to keep you safe. To be healthy and maintain a healthy weight, even small changes in your diet and physical activity can have a big effect on your overall health. How sure are you that you can eat 3 meals a day, limit snacking, drink water most of the time, and avoid junk and fast food? To prevent GDM, you should have a healthy weight and plan your pregnancies. We talked about how to have a healthy weight. Now let's talk about how to prevent unplanned pregnancies in the future. Our communities are diverse and unique. Some tribes continue to practice their coming-of-age celebrations and ceremonies to empower young Native girls on their journey into becoming a woman. These ceremonies not only signal puberty, they also focus on healthy relationships, the role of women in the community, and emphasize the sacred nature of becoming a woman. Another strength of our communities is the experience and wisdom of our grandmothers, mothers, and aunties. Even though you might find it hard to talk with a parent about sensitive topics like weight and sex, they are there to support you the best they can and can be very helpful in giving information and advice. You can start by thinking about the parent or relative that you feel would be the easiest to start talking to. Choose a time when you both have some free time so you won't be interrupted. Sometimes the best times to talk are when you are just doing normal things like riding in the car or when you have just watched a movie.
I don't know how to explain it. It's not that I want to have sex, and that's not why I'm bringing it up, but I just want to, know when my period's coming, so it's easier to regulate it and be prepared without being caught by surprise.
Okay, so you're not being pressured, you just
No.
want to be prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ask if you can have a private conversation. This alerts your parent that the topic will be important to you. Start by saying that you are curious. Ask a general question such as, I was wondering if you would help me eat more healthfully at home, or I was wondering what you think is important for me to know about sex. This allows your mom or dad to tell you what they feel is important. Ask questions. Give your mom or dad the chance to give you information. It is a lot easier than having them ask you all of the questions. Don't forget, you can talk to a doctor, nurse, or pharmacist at your local clinic or your school nurse about your weight or sex and family planning. We are trained to answer these kinds of questions as well as listen to any concerns you may have. In fact, we are happy to provide you with the facts you need to make healthy decisions. And if you are ever in a situation where you don't feel safe, it's really important that you reach out to us or an adult you trust right away. Tell us. We can help you. Being healthy means taking care of your body, mind, and spirit. Health is life in balance. Because GDM happens during pregnancy, it's important to know how to lower your chances of getting it before you get pregnant. One thing you can do is to keep your body healthy. Another thing you can do is to plan your future pregnancies. To know how to plan a pregnancy, it helps to learn how your body works. Let's start with some facts.
The change that happens when a child's body turns into an adult's body is called puberty. During puberty, kids usually put on weight and grow taller. This may be more of an issue for teens with type 2 diabetes who already have a tendency to be heavier. Also during puberty, important parts of the body begin to grow and develop and get the body ready to make babies of their own. These parts of the body are called the reproductive system. You can see some of these parts of your body on the outside, and other parts are inside where you can't see them. The parts that you can see on the outside of your body are called the genitals. Boys' reproductive systems are mostly on the outside of their bodies. The main parts are the penis and the scrotum. The scrotum is like a little sac. Inside there are 2 testicles. The testicles produce millions of tiny cells called sperm. The sperm leave the testicles through the sperm ducts to get to the penis. Most of the time, the penis is limp, but when a man gets sexually excited, blood rushes into the penis, it enlarges and stiffens. This is called an erection. Of course, while boys' bodies are developing into men's bodies, girls' bodies are also developing into women's bodies. Most parts of a woman's reproductive system are inside the body. They include 2 ovaries, 2 oviducts or tubes, the uterus, the cervix, and the vagina. There are 2 ovaries. The ovaries contain eggs. There are also 2 fallopian tubes, one for each ovary. About once a month, an egg leaves the ovary and follows this path down the tube. When the egg gets to the end of the tube, it goes into the uterus, which is also called the womb. Throughout the month, the uterus builds up a thick lining of blood vessels that would help the egg grow if the woman were pregnant. But of course, most months, the woman is not pregnant. So after a few days, the blood and the egg flow out of the uterus. This part of the menstrual cycle is called menses, or a period. The blood flows to the lower part of the uterus and out through the cervix. The cervix surrounds a narrow canal that links the uterus to the vagina. The vagina is moist and can stretch easily. The moisture helps the sperm swim towards the egg. We've talked about a woman's body parts and a man's body parts. Now let's get down to it. What happens in sex and how does it make a woman pregnant? If a man puts his penis into a woman's vagina when he has an erection, this is called sexual intercourse or vaginal sex. When people talk about having sex, this is usually what they mean. The vagina stimulates the penis. Eventually, the man will climax or ejaculate. You may hear it called cum. A fluid called semen, which contains millions of sperm, is squirted from the penis into the woman's vagina. But even before that, a little bit of semen can leak out, and some sperm can get inside the woman's vagina. The penis does not have to be in too far for this to happen. Sperm can swim right up through the woman's cervix. Once the sperm are in the vagina, they swim up the cervix into the uterus, which is sometimes called the womb. If there is an egg coming down the fallopian tube, the sperm meet the egg. The sperm try very hard to get inside the egg. If one gets inside, it fertilizes the egg. This is called conception. The fertilized egg follows the path down the fallopian tube into the womb. The egg then clings to the wall of the uterus. This is when we say the woman has gotten pregnant, but she doesn't know it yet. Sperm can stay alive for a few days inside a woman's uterus and tubes. So a woman can get pregnant even if she had sex days before the egg was ripe. The egg starts out as just one tiny cell, but it splits into 2 cells and then 4 cells and then 8 cells and keeps multiplying many times to grow into a larger group of cells. This is called an embryo. The embryo doesn't have fully formed body parts yet, but it's starting to develop the very beginnings of what can turn into a heart and a brain. About 2 weeks later, the woman will have missed a period and may get a pregnancy test. Even though she just found out she is pregnant and the embryo is still just the size of a pea, it has a head and is already forming a brain, and it's forming a beating heart that's pumping blood. The heart and brain may not form correctly if a woman's blood sugars are high during this time. It may have already been damaged by high blood sugars before she even knows she's pregnant. As the pregnancy continues, about 2 months later, the eyes, ears, and nose have taken shape, the arms and legs are formed, the hands have fingers, and the feet have toes. At this point, the embryo grows into a fetus and is the size of a walnut. There's still 7 months before the baby is due to be born, but so much has already happened that will determine if the baby is going to be healthy.
I think if I had known when I was younger about healthy relationships and not wanting to rush into things, I might have done things a little differently.
As you grow and your body changes, you might start thinking about sex. Although your body is changing, there is still a lot of growth and activities as a teen ahead of you. Having sex before you're old enough and prepared for the responsibility can be hard to handle. Some of the results of having sex could be bladder and yeast infections, or getting a sexually transmitted disease from a partner. Sex can also change your feelings about other people and yourself. If you have sex to please a partner, you may end up feeling confused about yourself. Remember, you are in charge of your body, and you deserve to be treated with respect and to feel safe. You are the one who decides if and when you are ready to have sex and/or become pregnant.
I have the right to tell someone to stop, to protect myself from getting a disease, and to prevent getting pregnant.
I have the right to choose if and when I want to have sex without feeling pressured.
Take a look at some stuff I have put together for you guys. a little bit of information about reproductive health in general and some of the stuff that we've been talking about, prevention of gestational diabetes. So I'm going to let you look.
You can decrease your chances of getting diabetes when you are pregnant by doing 3 things. First, preventing unplanned pregnancies. Second, planning your future pregnancies. And third, getting to and maintaining a healthy weight. Let's take a look at how to prevent an unplanned pregnancy.
Is it true you can't get pregnant when you're having your period?
There are a lot of common myths out there about how to prevent a pregnancy. As a result, some teenagers may accidentally become pregnant before they are ready. If you decide you are ready for sex, but you are not ready for a baby, getting the facts about birth control can help you to not get pregnant. The family planning method that you choose will depend on your health, your spiritual beliefs, and your personal needs. Talking to your doctor, nurse, or pharmacist at your local clinic can help you. They can give you the best information to help you decide what type of family planning method is right for you. You can ask them things like, how do I tell my partner that I am not ready to have sex? How can I avoid getting pregnant? Or how can I keep from getting a disease that is spread through sex? The best way to avoid getting pregnant is to not have sex, which is called abstinence. There is no sperm to fertilize the egg, and it's 100% safe. And an added bonus is no sexual infections or sexually transmitted diseases. Other options include IUDs, Depo shots, the pill, the patch, NuvaRing, condoms, or diaphragms. Only a condom can prevent a sexually transmitted infection, so a condom should always be used, even if you are using another birth control method. 2 methods at the same time. If you have sex, there is always some chance of getting pregnant. That's why it's important that you plan ahead. If you do not want to have sex, you have the right to say no or wait until you're ready. You should never feel pressured or rushed into having sex. If you ever feel unsafe, you can talk to an adult that you trust. Only you can decide when the time is right to get pregnant. When you make that decision in a healthy way, both you and your baby will be happier and healthier. It's important for a woman to be healthy before she gets pregnant, so that she and her baby will have the best chance of being healthy. Before you decide to get pregnant, it's a good idea to get your blood sugar checked. Some women have high blood sugar and don't even know it. It is important for the health of you and your baby to make sure your blood sugar is normal before you get pregnant. If a woman has high blood sugar or diabetes before her pregnancy, it can affect the baby's developing brain, heart, spinal cord, and bones. Getting to and maintaining a healthy weight before you become pregnant not only will help you decrease your chances for GDM, it also contributes to good health now and as you age. Being overweight during pregnancy not only puts a young mother at risk of gestational diabetes, but it also puts her at higher risk for other serious health problems. Being overweight during pregnancy also puts the baby at risk for serious health problems. The baby might have birth defects, might be born larger than normal, be born too soon, or even be born dead. Being at a healthy weight before becoming pregnant is your best chance of preventing gestational diabetes and having a healthy baby. The key to a healthy pregnancy is planning, and a great way to prevent GDM while you're pregnant. You can plan to stay at a healthy weight, be active, and have normal blood sugar levels so that it is safe to become pregnant. You don't have to do it alone. Doctors, nurses, and your family can help you. Talk to a doctor or nurse about how to get to a healthy weight keep normal blood sugars, and postpone pregnancy until it's safe for you.
I don't even have a boyfriend yet, so why should I be thinking about having a baby?
Even if you're not thinking about getting pregnant, advice about how to prevent an unplanned pregnancy should begin when you get your first period. Talking to your doctor or nurse can help you set goals for your general health and also help to understand your options for family planning, avoid getting pregnant if you're not ready, and stay healthy before pregnancy. The whole purpose of getting advice is to make sure that when you're ready to become pregnant, you and your baby will be as healthy as possible.
Yeah, I've never heard of preconception counseling. I just really want to be as healthy as I can be for me and my family.
Well, that's good. Preconception counseling is definitely the way to go because you're planning way far ahead, and that gives you an opportunity, if you don't have good healthy habits, to make the changes that you need to eat healthier, lose weight if you need to.
When a young woman who is at risk for GDM is thinking about getting pregnant, there are some things that she needs to do to prepare. Advice about planning pregnancy includes working with her doctor or nurse to be as healthy as possible, learning how high blood sugars can hurt an unborn baby, using birth control until it's safe to get pregnant, making healthy changes to meal plans and exercising, getting blood pressure under control, taking vitamins and minerals like folic acid and calcium, getting up to date on vaccines or shots that prevent different diseases, getting genetic counseling, stopping unhealthy behaviors such as drugs, smoking, and alcohol, getting blood sugar checked at the clinic before pregnancy. Remember, health is life in balance, which means finding a healthy balance of body, mind, and spirit. We've talked a lot about how being physically healthy can lower your risk for GDM, but your mental and emotional health are just as important for your overall health. There are a lot of things you can do to find a healthy balance and stay mentally and emotionally healthy, like getting plenty of sleep each night, talking to your friends, family, or your partner about how you're feeling. If you are feeling down and can't seem to shake it, or you feel unsafe in a romantic relationship, don't hesitate to reach out. Communication is key. Having someone that you trust to talk to and get advice from can make a big difference in life choices you make. You make choices every day. Some choices are really important, like choices about sex. Having sex comes with responsibilities and risks, so it's important to talk with your partner about safe sex, avoiding pregnancy, and preventing sexually transmitted infections. Take the time to stop and think before you act. Some common reasons young women may have sex, even if they don't feel ready yet, are: my partner will love me more if we have sex. My partner won't wait for me to make up my mind. We've been together long enough, having sex is the next step. It's not a big deal. And the one I hear most, everybody's doing it. If you're thinking about having sex for one of these reasons, or if you're feeling pressured in any way, find an adult you trust who can help you talk through making this important decision. Your partner may really want to have sex, but you need to tell them if you don't want to do that. Remember that having sex can change a relationship and how you feel about yourself, and having sex doesn't prove that you're in love or that you are a woman.
Well, I've been needing to ask somebody questions, but I don't really know who to go to, and it's kind of personal and girl business.
You know, I think I had the perfect person that can visit with you. You have a second to go meet her?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay. Glad you came in today.
Me too.
Come on in. Have a seat there. Hi, so how can I help you?
So I was talking to my counselor about things that I think that he said that you'd have more answers to.
Oh, I have plenty of time, so let's talk about them.
Okay.
What were you needing?
I know sometimes it's hard to talk to your moms about certain things, and mothers, I know it's hard to talk to your daughters about certain aspects of their life that are coming up, you know, talking about relationships and sex and having babies. That's a hard subject. But they need to hear this from you. Daughters, you need to hear that from your mother. If she's not bringing it up, I think you should bring it up. Talk to her.
So take action. The healthy choices you make now can help us end the cycle of diabetes across all of our Native communities. And together, we can stop GDM for you, your baby, and future generations.